to another Lawn Fawn video. Today we are so excited about introducing our brand new stamp set, Carrot Bout You, and its coordinating dies. We are also going to be introducing the Carrot Bout You banner add-on and its coordinating die. These sets are so cute together, so let's go ahead and check it out. First, we're going to take a look at the Carrot Bout You stamp set, and it has these adorable carrot cars in a larger size and in a smaller size. And then we have these cute little drivers. So we have a bigger bunny for the bigger carrot car and a smaller bunny for the other carrot car. We also have this little wagon that you can attach to the back of the carrot cars. When here's the little attacher piece. We also have another style, and I'll show you how those both work in just a little bit. And then we have all of these cute images that are so fun for filling that little wagon. We have a row of carrots, a little pile of Easter eggs, and then a row of flowers. We also have an individual carrot, an individual Easter egg, and an individual flower to help you set the scenes and add little extra flowers, eggs, and carrots into your wagon too. We also have this super cute little tiny flower, and we have a tiny little heart as well. We also have this great sign, and then we have all of these small phrases that you can either add to the sign or add around your cute stamped images. We have Egg Hunt Today, Spring Festival, You Pick Carrots, which is one of my favorites. We also have an awesome phrase that says, Yay! And then we have Wee, which is so cute with the carrot cars. We have I Carrot Believe It, like I cannot believe it. And we have Hip Hop Hooray, which is so cute with the bunnies. We have Spring Has Sprung. I love all these phrases. And also, it's so exciting. Then we also have Thanks a Bunch, which is so cute with the carrots. And we have I Carrot Bout You, which is awesome and adorable. And then we also have some phrases to go with the car. We have Room, and then we also have Beep. Then we have some great mix and match phrases. So we have I carrot, and then all these things you can match with it. So we have I carrot bout you, like I care about you, or I carrot believe it's, I cannot believe it's, like that, or I carrot thank you enough. So you can mix and match with any of those. Then we also have a happy or a hoppy to go along with the cute little bunnies, and then you can mix and match those with some other phrases. So happy or hoppy spring, and then you can also say I carrot believe it's spring. So you can see how you can really mix and match these in such great ways, and you can do the same thing with the word Easter. So hoppy or happy Easter. And then you can say spring or Easter is on its way, which is so super cute with the little cars moving around. And of course, we have an exclamation point that you can add to the ends of your phrases. Now we're going to add some color to these adorable images, and I'm going to be using my Copic markers to color in these carrot cars. And these carrot cars are just the cutest thing. Like when you see these, you can't help but smile. They are just so adorable. And so you can see I'm putting my darkest marker kind of around the outside edges, and then I'm just blending it in so that it's lightest towards the center. And then of course for the little leaves on the car, we're going to do those in green. And then for the little detail that's kind of like the car seat for the bunny, we're going to be doing this one in gray. And in the other carrot car, I'm going to end up keeping it orange. You could also use that area to be a fun pop of color that coordinate with your card design. So there's a lot of fun things you can do with that there. And then for the wheels, we're going to be using a neutral gray on these and just kind of blending it out. So there's a darker part of the wheel and then a lighter part of the wheel. And for some reason, that helps me kind of feel like the wheels are moving. I think it's a really cute look. For this little bunny here, I'm going to be using some light browns and of course giving him some cute rosy cheeks. And now we're going to move on to the other carrot car. And I'm using some different oranges here, so you can play around with whatever oranges you have in your stash, but I'm coloring it in the same way where we have kind of darker around the outside and lighter towards the middle. And then here you can see how I added that extra little detail there in orange. I even brought in a darker orange just to kind of help make it stand out. And while I had my orange markers out, I wanted to have all of my carrots coordinate. So I'm using the same markers there to color in all of those cute carrots. And I'm going to do the same thing with the green. So I'm going to go along all of the greens of the carrots, not only on my car, but also on all my cute little carrots that I can add into the scene. And I'll just blend it out dark to light. And I'm going to use that same green on my flowers as well. That way everything's going to coordinate really nicely. For these wheels, I'm going to be using some warm grays, so just kind of a little bit of a different look, and both of them are great. It's just kind of whatever's your preference or whatever colors you happen to have in your stash. And then for this little bunny, I used some really light warm grays to make him look like a white bunny that might be like maybe a little bit dirty. It kind of gives him a little extra detail, and I think that's so super cute. For the little wagon here, I'm using some browns and I'm kind of keeping it light towards the center, which I think looks really cute. And then I'm going to use some of these neutral grays for the wheels again on that cute little wagon. Now, I thought it would be fun to kind of have a rainbowy look on these eggs and on the flowers, and I wanted my colors all to coordinate again. So I'm using pinks and then oranges, and I'm going to go through and fill in all the different things. You'll see I forgot to make the orange flower, but I'll go back and do it in just a second. So I'm going to color in the yellow flower. Now I'm going back with the orange to create a cute rainbow order on those adorable little tulips. For the middle flower there, I'm actually going to bring in a green to kind of help actually do the rainbow and just a different shade than the green I did for the leaves. And then we'll add in some purple there. And that pop of purple really makes the whole thing feel so springy. I just love those happy colors. And then for the sign, I'm using the same brown as I did for the wagon, and I'm keeping it lightest towards the center so that I can stamp my sentiment in there and you can see it really, really clearly. Now that we've taken a look at Carrot Bout You, we're going to look at the Carrot Bout You banner add-on. It has this super cute banner and then these phrases that fit it perfectly. They've already been curved to fit the exact curve of that banner. What I love about this banner is that you can add it, of course, onto the carrot cars, and I'll show you that in a little bit, but it would be really cute after any vehicle. So you could put it behind an awesome airplane or another little car that you might have in your stash. So I love that it's just a fun little banner to add to different scenes. And of course, we have great phrases with Happy Spring, Happy Easter, Thank you, and also Hooray. And then we have an extra exclamation point that you can add to your phrases. I also really love that driving by to say. It's a cute thing to stamp in your scene, and then you can have the adorable little banner with your sentiment. To add some kind of pop of color to it, I'm just adding a little bit of light blue so that it stays a white banner, but it just gives it that little three-dimensional pop that I think is so pretty. And then here you can see a comparison between the two stamp sets and how cute that banner is going to be after one of those carrot cars. I also wanted to add some white gel pen details to these little cars, and there's something about when you add the white gel pen details that makes it look really round and just three-dimensional and adorable. And so I went ahead and just added some cute little lines and dots on all of my images, and there's something just so cute and special about this. And you'll see on the little eggs, it just looks adorable. On the flowers, I just did little lines and dots, and I think it turned out so cute. And now it's time to take out the coordinating dies. So these are the coordinating dies for Carrot Bout You, which you can bend apart at the tabs, or you can use your wire snips to separate. We'll take those dies and line them up with our stamped images, hold it in place with some low-tack tape. We'll run it through the die cut machine, and then we'll have perfectly cut out images every time. And here is a look at all of the images from Carrot About You. They are so super cute, and here are some ways to mix and match them. We can add the little bunnies as drivers into the carrot cars, which is adorable, and then you can take all of those different elements and put them inside of the wagon. There's all the cute little individual guys, like the individual carrot and flower, and the bunnies can hold on to those or you can add them into your scenes, and I love the flower and the bunny's hair. You can also take that connector piece and connect the wagon to the two different carrot cars, which is such a cute and fun look. I love that little sign there too. You can also use those little elements just as fun little decoration, like a little field of flowers that the sign is in. So I love that you can use those in and outside of the wagon. You can also connect the two carrot cars together, like the mama is kind of driving the baby around, or you can fill that little carrot car with the extra little elements and then she can kind of pull that cart too, and I think that's a really cute look as well. Then you can have the little bunny guys driving separately, and you can add the little wagon behind the big guy. And then that little individual one, it's to connect two wagons together, which I think is such a sweet look. Of course, you can connect them in this way too. There's so many different ways to mix and match all of these elements together. Then I wanted to show you what it looks like to stamp a phrase into the sign. So this little sign is so cute, and there's all these little phrases that you can fit into the sign. And so I decided to pick It's So Exciting because it just makes me laugh. And so we're going to stamp it in some black licorice ink right onto the sign. And you can see how adorable that looks. Oh my gosh, it's perfect for a little scene. And here's a scene that you could make with it. You could have the little sign inside of the pile of eggs, and then you could have the little car dragging the wagon behind it with the little bunny driving with the carrots. I mean, look how cute this is. And he's driving over to those eggs to pick up some eggs to add to his carrots. I just think it's absolutely adorable. Or, of course, you could add the eggs into the wagon and then have the little sign there. Now here is the coordinating die for the Carrot Bout You add-on, and you'll see that it lines up right there with our stamped image. Then we can hold it in place with some low tack tape, and we'll run it through the die cut machine, and we'll have a beautifully die cut image. Then here you can see how sweet that banner is, and you can stamp any of those phrases into the banner. But for this one, I decided to stamp in Happy Spring. So we're going to stamp that again in some black licorice ink, and you'll see how adorable it looks in the banner. And I love that it matches the curve perfectly. And then here's what it looks like when that banner is behind the carrot car. Like, are you guys smiling? I'm smiling. It's so cute and so sweet. I just love this look so much. And one of my favorite things about this set is that it's super cute for Easter, it's super cute for spring, but it's also really cute for just a fun pun with the carrot about you theme. So if you just want to let someone know that you're thinking about them, you can make them a cute carrot theme card with the carrot about you sentiment, and it would just be adorable. Or you can see a fun happy spring card, Easter cards, and we're going to be showing you so many ideas in this video today. And for our first card, we are going to be making an Easter card with this. And so we're going to be starting off with some of the new algae cardstock, and we're going to die cut that with our grassy border here. And we're going to hold that in place with some low tack tape. We'll run that through the die cut machine, and then we're also going to die cut the brand new little farm fence border, and we're going to die cut that out of some white cardstock. And you can see that we're already setting a pretty cute scene for our adorable little bunnies here. Now, to add some detail to this fence, we're just taking a light warm gray marker and just adding a little line on the edge of each post and a little line at the top of the little fence parts that kind of connect the posts. And you'll see by doing that, it's going to give it this really cool three-dimensional look that I just love. Then we can just add some tape runner at the bottom of that, and then we can go ahead and layer that over the grass. And we're starting to form a cute little scene for our carrot cars to be driving through. And so all we need to do is just trim off the excess of that fence, and that is looking so cute already. So now we went ahead and stamped and colored and die cut a bunch of the images from the Carrot About You, and we're going to start layering these in a really, really fun way. And so first we'll turn over the carrot car, and we're just going to add some adhesive behind it so that we can then layer the bunny driver right into the car. And oh my gosh, that just makes it. And then we're just going to make sure to add some extra adhesive to cover the whole car and the bunny, and then we can layer him into our grass. Then we're going to start working on the little connector piece. So we're going to layer that just a little bit behind the carrot car, and that's going to be connecting to some wagons. So we'll add that one there. Then we're going to add some adhesive behind the wagon, and we're going to layer in that pile of Easter eggs. And then we can take this whole piece and we can layer that onto our scene. And you'll see that we're going to layer it right over the connector piece, so it looks like these are connected together, and this little bunny is driving all of his wagons through his farm. Then that cute little bunny who's meant to be the driver of the smaller car, he's also really cute in the wagon. So we layered him in there. And then we're going to layer some carrots into this next wagon. And right now we are recreating a version of a card by Tammy that is just so cute. So thank you so much, Tammy. Now for this cart, we're going to connect them with the more simple connector. That's kind of like the straight line connector. And so that's how I like to connect the two wagons together. And so we're just going to connect those two just like that. And oh my goodness, this is looking so cute already. I love the idea of the two wagons attached together. And then we're going to take that sign that we stamped, "It's so exciting," and earlier, and we're going to kind of layer that there behind as well. And it's super, super cute with our Easter theme and with the Easter eggs in the wagon. So now that we have this whole cute little scene made, we need a sky, and we're actually going to be using some of the brand new Rainbow Ever After paper in the 12 by 12 size in that really pretty pink. And I think it's a really fun, unique sky, and I love all the texture in it. So we layered some foam squares behind the whole scene, and then we're going to layer that right into the sky. And there's something about a pink sky for Easter that I think is just adorable. Then we're going to take out the giant Happy Easter die. This is such a great die, and it's a really fun, bold sentiment. And we're going to die cut that out of Ballet Slippers cardstock and out of white cardstock. And we're going to be layering these two together to create a shadow. So we're going to flip over the pink one and just layer some drops of glue with the glue tube all around the whole thing. And then we can flip it over, and we're going to layer it over the white one, shifting it over to the right just a little bit. And that's going to give it that cool shadow look that's so fun, and it's also going to help the pink pop off of the pink background. Then we can add some more liquid glue to the back with the glue tube, and then we can layer that into the sky. And I love this look of the big, bold sentiment with the cute scene underneath, and the kind of pink tone on tone is just so cute and pretty. Carrot Bout You has these super cute little phrases, and I wanted to use more of them. And one of my favorites is to use all the speech bubbles. So we went ahead and stamped and die cut a speech bubble. And now we're going to go ahead and look through some phrases. And hip hop hooray is so cute. So we're going to stamp that into the speech bubble in some black licorice ink. And I love all the speech bubbles so much because it fits all of those cute tiny phrases. And it's so much fun to add the little speech bubbles for the bunnies. Then to make the speech bubble pop, we're just going to line the inside with a really light blue marker, and you'll see that it just makes the white of the speech bubble pop and makes it feel kind of special. Then we can add a little foam square to the back and layer it for the little bunny to be saying, and oh my goodness, is that so cute or what? Now here we have a standard size card base that's 5.5 by 4.25, and we're just going to go ahead and use our tape runner to layer some tape runner on the back of the whole scene, and then we can layer that right onto the card to have a really nice little 1/8 inch border all of the way around. And now this Easter card is all done. I love it so much. I love the double wagons. It's so much fun, and the little bunny driving the tractor, and then the bunny in the wagon is just so super cute. And now next up, we are going to make a Give It a Whirl card with Carrot Bout You. And so here we have some speckled eggshell cardstock, and we have our Give It a Whirl dies. And we're going to be die cutting this moving piece twice. And if you've never made a Give It a Whirl before, make sure to check out our intro to Give It a Whirl video. We will link it in the description below. Now that we have our 2 moving circles, we're going to take one of these and put it aside, and we're just going to be decorating one of the moving circles. Now, in the Give It a Whirls that I made in the intro to Give It a Whirl video, we had the little cut line at a 3 p.m. angle there, but I thought it would be fun to try a different angle. So we're trying about a 1:30 or so. You can do any angle with your cut line with the Give It a Whirl, and so I thought it would be fun to show you how to do a different angle. So we're going to do that in that card here. And so now that we have our angle for our moving piece, we're going to start to do some decorating. And we're going to start off by stamping that cute little wagon right into the circle. And then we're going to do some masking. So here I have some Post-it note tape, and I'm just going to lay it right along the top of the wagon, just like that, to protect the rest of the wagon. And I'm going to stamp my carrots into the wagon with some masking. And I love how easy it is to mask this because it's a nice straight line. So I'll take those carrots there, and we're going to stamp that in some jet black ink because I'm going to be doing some coloring in just a little bit. And we'll stamp right over that line of tape, and it's going to make it appear like we stamped a wagon with the carrots already in it. And I love masking so much because my favorite part is the big reveal. So we're going to peel up that tape, and now you can see how gorgeous that looks. Next, I wanted to create a hill for my cart to be on, and I could just freehand draw it, but I decided to use this little die cut that's included in the Give It a Whirl die as a guide. So I'm just going to lay it right onto my piece here, and then I'm just going to take my pencil and make a pencil line by tracing along the edge of the die cut. Then what I'm going to end up doing is adding my marker over this line. Once again, you could freehand it, but I don't have the steadiest hand, so by tracing this little die here, it's going to give me a nice line for me to follow. So there you can see we have our pencil line. I'm going in with my lightest marker first just to kind of give it a test, and then I'm going to go in with my darker brown marker. I'm using the E30s here, and then I'm just going to be blending it out. So I'm going to add my darker marker, then my medium marker, and my light marker. And you can kind of have it be uneven because that's what really makes it look like a ground. So I think it looks so pretty. Then I'm going to add some color to the wagon and the wheels in a different shade of brown, and then some gray for the wheels, and of course some nice bright oranges and greens for our carrots. Then for the sky, I'm just going to fill it in with my marker too. That way I don't need to do any kind of complicated masking. I can just fill in all those little gaps between my carrots with my marker, and then just kind of do scribbled lines going back and forth to create my sky. I just used one marker for my sky, this really light kind of turquoisey color, and I just filled it in. You can see how cool it looks, especially with that speckled eggshell paper that has a texture already. I think it looks really pretty with the markers on there. And then for the sand, I'm just taking a dark brown marker and adding some little dots to give some fun texture. So now that we've decorated our moving piece, I'm going to set that aside and we're going to decorate the main base piece. And I always like to start with a piece of cardstock that is 5 by 5 inches because it gives me a nice area to design on. And then I'm going to be taking out that same little hill that we kind of used as a guide to create our line, and I'm going to die cut that out of that same speckled eggshell cardstock too. And just like we did before, I am going to be using the same exact markers because I want the hills to match on the front and on the back, and so I'm just going to use those markers to color it in. And just like we did on the front, I'm going to take a dark marker and add some little dots onto there because it's going to give it that feel of kind of sand or dirt. Now that our ground is done, we need to work on the sky. So I'm going to take out the Give It a Whirl template that's going to give me my exact area that I need to design in. And I am going to layer that on to this piece of cardstock here. And I'm just going to hold that in place with some washi tape. This is that new Flower Garden washi tape that is so super cute. Then we're going to take out our merman ink and a blender brush and we're just going to ink over this template. And this is going to give us a perfect circle that's going to fit right beneath our Give It a Whirl mechanism. And you'll see how this is all going to come together in just a little bit. So I'm inking right over that template, and then I'm going to take out that cute little ground that we made earlier to kind of see how it's looking. And it's looking really nice. And I wanted to compare it to the moving piece that we decorated earlier, and they are matching really, really beautifully. I am really liking how it looks. So I just wanted to add some fun texture to this. So I'm going to take out some Copic white, which is like some white acrylic paint. Any acrylic paint would work. And I'm just going to pick up some with my paintbrush and then tap the paintbrush to create little white splatters in the sky just to have some pretty texture on it. Then we can peel up that template and that sky is looking so gorgeous. I set it aside to dry, and then I'm going to take out that hill that we created earlier. I'm going to cover the whole thing in some tape runner, and we're going to layer that down at the bottom of the sky. Then we're going to take out the Carrot Bout You stamp set, and we're also going to be taking out some other sets that are going to look really cute with this. And that's the brand new Veggie Happy stamp set and the Veggie Happy add-on. And I love that these two mix and match together in such a cute way because of the carrot theme of the Carrot About You and all the cute carrot gardening things here. And I just had to pop in a card by Elena here where you can see how she combined both the carrot card with the little carrots in the soil, and it is so super cute. And we're going to do a little bit of that idea here. So we're going to add some adhesive behind our cute little carrot car and then our little bunny. And this is the smaller carrot car that we're adding onto there. And then we're going to layer that into the scene. So we'll add the bunny into the car and then layer that down. And this is also a card by Elena that we are recreating. So thank you so much, Elena. It is so super cute. Then once we have the carrot car in place, we can start to work on the rest of our decorations. So we're going to give him a little carrot to hold because we're really going with the cute carrot theme here. And then we're going to layer some of the individual carrots that are from the really cute Carrot Bout You set, and then the little smiley face carrot from the add-on, and then the little pile of dirt as well. So I love that you can mix and match these sets together and give such cute looks with them. So we're going to layer these all together and then add them down into our dirt that we created at the bottom of this scene. And then next what this scene needs is some clouds. So I shot my stash, and this is the center picture window, which is another interactive die and has these cute tiny little clouds in it. You could also use the All the Clouds stamp set or clouds from any of your favorite dies. And I'm just going to layer these into the sky, and there's some white clouds, and I think they just kind of fill in the sky and look super, super cute. Now that our scene is done, it's time to die cut it. But we want to make sure the angle of our die cut ends up lining up with the angle on our moving piece. So what I'm going to do is take the moving piece and just layer it right over my scene, just like that. Then I'm going to take out a ruler and I'm going to line up that ruler with the cut line. Once I line that up, then I can use a pencil to make a little guide mark to help me line up my main base piece. So when you do it at 3 p.m. like we did in the intro to Give It a Whirl video, you don't really have to think about it because it's just that nice horizontal line. But if you have an angle, this is the way to do it. And it's really, really easy. We're just laying that on there, using a ruler to make a line with a pencil. And you can see that's going to perfectly line up. Now we can move away our moving piece and we can bring in the main base piece. And we're going to use the Give It a Whirl scalloped add-on, and we're just going to line that line up with the cut line in the die. That's it. So super easy. And once it's all lined up, then we can use some washi tape to hold it in place. So what I do is I make sure my scene is centered in the circle, and then I make sure the cut line lines up with my pencil mark, and then now we're bringing in that washi tape to make sure it's nice and secure. And I'm going to add 4 pieces to make sure it really holds in perfect place while we go and we run it through the die cut machine. Then once we run it through the die cut machine, we can pop our die cut out, and now you'll see that we have our main base piece, and all we need to do is just bring an eraser and erase that little pencil line right there. Easy peasy, and it works great. So if you want to add a creative line angle into your Give It a Whirls, this is the easiest way to make sure they line up. Now that we have our main base piece, we're going to start putting all of the pieces that we need to create the Give It a Whirl. So we're bringing back our decorated moving piece, and then we're going to be die cutting our connector piece. And for the connector piece, you want to die cut it out of copy paper, like printer paper, nice thin paper. And so we're going to be taking this connector piece here, and we're going to make sure to die cut it out of that copy paper. And then once we have that piece here, we're going to be die cutting the tab for this. And for the tab, you want to die cut it out of some 100-pound cardstock so that it's nice and sturdy when the recipient is giving it a whirl. So we're going to run that through the die cut machine, and we'll bring this piece in. And then we've also got our little decorative cover that has the arrow that we've die cut out of that speckled eggshell cardstock. And then of course that extra moving piece that we die cut at the beginning of this card. Now that we have all of the pieces that we need for this card, we are going to push everything aside beside our decorated moving circle and our connector piece. We're going to flip that piece over, and then we're going to fold along the line that the score line created for us on that connector piece. Then we're going to take our tape runner and we're going to cover the entire piece in tape runner. So you'll see the whole thing is all covered. Once we have that covered, we can flip it over and we're going to line it up with that cut line there. You're just going to center it along that cut line, just kind of eyeball it, and it's going to line up right with that edge. Then we can press down and secure it. Then I always like to take my finger and rub off any of the excess of that dot runner that might be around. Then we're going to add some tape runner to the top of the connector piece, once again rubbing away any extra adhesive that we might have. And then we're going to take the plain moving piece there, and we're going to layer that over top. And you'll see they'll line right up, and we're going to press down so that the connector piece ends up connecting those 2 moving circles, just like that. Then we can flip it over and see our really cute design. The next thing we need to work on is the tab. So we're going to take the tab out, and we're going to add adhesive to that right-hand side. And that's going to layer behind the decorated moving piece. So you'll see here on the right side, we're just going to pick that piece up just like that and then layer it behind. So you can kind of have a little look there where I'm layering it. And then that curve of the tab is going to perfectly match the curve of the moving piece, and you'll see how that looks right there. Then the next thing that we need to do is take our little tab cover there and layer it over. But I wanted there to be an orange arrow to match the carrot. So I'm just taking an orange marker and adding some marker to that tab. Then I can add some adhesive to the back of that tab, and then I can layer that over just like that with the orange arrow peeking through. Now that our moving piece is all done, we can bring back that main base piece. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip both of these over. And we're going to take that tab there, and that we're going to feed through the cut line on the main base piece from the back. Then we'll flip it over, and we're going to use our fingers to help guide the piece because we need to make sure to train this paper to learn how to give it a whirl. So you'll see I'm just kind of guiding it through the first time. Then the next time I can kind of pull the tab and have the whole piece cycle back, and you can start to see how cool this is going to be. And then I'm just going to bring it back one more time so that I'm seeing my first design there, just like that. Then we're going to put this piece down and start to work on our card base. So I'm going to take out a standard size card base that's 5.5 by 4.25, and then we're going to bring out the Rainbow Ever After paper pad and kind of look through for a cute paper. And I loved this turquoise paper and how it matches the sky that we created. So I'm going to add some tape runner to the back of this and then layer that onto the standard size card base. Then to give it a fun look, we are going to be taking out a stitched rectangle frame. And we're going to take this frame and we're going to die cut it from some of that same speckled eggshell cardstock. And this frame is going to be the perfect size, the 5.5 by 4.25, to layer over that pattern paper. So we'll add some tape runner to this, and then we're just going to layer that onto the card. And now we have a cute little frame to put our Give It a Whirl in. And then this was the moment right here where I realized that I forgot to stamp the sentiment on the front piece. But that's okay. We haven't put the card together yet, so I can do some stamping right now. And so I'm taking out a brand new stamp set, which is the Hey There, Hayrides Bunny add-on, and it has a really cute little phrase that says, "Some bunny loves you." So I'm lining that up in my Misty tool here. I'm going to ink it up with some black licorice ink and then stamp it right beneath the carrots. And what I like about this is the sentiment, first of all, it's just so sweet. And it also lets you know that you're going to be a bunny on the inside, that there's going to be a fun surprise. So now that we've stamped that, I can just feed that through my Give It a Whirl again, and then we can just flip it over and look at the back. And now we're going to be able to add our foam strips. So we're going to take these nice 3D foam strips out. Here we go. These are the perfect size to create your Give It a Whirls, and we're going to line it up so that the top of the foam strip lines up perfectly with that stitching line. So you can see the very top of the foam strip is lining up with the stitch line of that scallop circle main base piece. This takes about 2.5 pieces, so we'll just line them all up and you can just trim off any of the excess. The next step is to peel up the liner paper on those foam strips. And once I peel up the liner paper, I always like to check and make sure that none of my foam is touching my circle in any way. And if it is, I can just kind of roll it back with my fingers, just like that, to make sure that everything is in perfect placement. And then once it is, we can flip the whole thing over and we can attach it onto our card base. So I'm going to kind of put it centered, but just up towards the top just a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and press down and secure it in place. And once you press down, you have created your Give It a Whirl mechanism. And now this is the best part. We get to give it a whirl. And look how cute this is. As you spin it around, you get that adorable little buddy, which is just the sweetest and cutest thing ever. The next thing we're going to do is add one more carrot detail. We have the die cut carrots from the Carrot Bout You stamp set, the ones that can go inside of the wagon. We're going to layer those at the very bottom of the card. And I thought this was such a cute detail, and it just looks so cute with that orange arrow too. I just love the color palette of this card so much. And now this card is all done, and as you give it a whirl, look at that cute surprise with the bunny in the carrot card. I mean, oh my goodness, this just makes me smile so much. I just can't get over how cute these are, how much fun they are to create, and how much fun they are to give. The surprise is absolutely amazing, and they make me smile so much. And next up, Shari has two super cute and clever cards that have both a spring and a caring about you theme. So take it away, Shari.
For this card, I'm using Cared About You as well as the Cared About You banner add-on to create a fun spring card. I've already stamped my happy spring in my banner, I've colored and cut out all my images that I will be using, and I'm pulling out the Rainbow Ever After Petite paper pack. I am going to be using that big, bold rainbow stripe and that blue tone-on-tone polka dot. I'm cutting each of these out with the largest of the stitched rectangle stackables, and I will cut. So I'll be cutting a full rectangle from both of these papers. I am making sure that my vertical stripes are lined up. I'm also cutting a white little farm fence border. And then I have this scrap piece of the green stripe from the Rainbow Ever After, and I'm just going to cut a 1/4 inch strip, and I am cutting this in the same direction as the stripes. So these are all my pieces for my card. I'm going to go ahead and put that blue piece right onto my card base because everything is going to layer on top of this. But for my stripe piece, I want to cut the top of it at an angle. I want to make a dynamic scene with my little carrot card going up a hill, pulling the trailer full of tulips. So this is about where I think that will go and have enough space for my fence and my images above. I'll just push it up just slightly, and I'm just going to draw a line with my pencil. This is going to tell me what angle and where to cut this piece of pattern paper. So I'll just line this up in my trimmer and cut that off, and now I have that really fun dynamic diagonal for my card. I will go ahead and put a little line of glue across the top of that cut line and add my little strip of green. And then of course I can just trim off the excess that goes out past this rectangle. I'm going to temporarily stack these together so I can see where to glue my fence. I will be popping this front panel up on some foam for dimension, but I want to make sure that my fence lines up with the top of this diagonal line. So I've just added some liquid glue to the back of the fence. I'm lining it up with that diagonal, and then I'll trim off that excess that's overhanging the sides. So now I have this diagonal fence that will be in my background. Before I start to assemble my card, I do want to stamp the rest of my sentiment that says spring is on its way. This is also from the Carrot About You stamp set, and I'm just stamping this right underneath that green piece of pattern paper. So I'll just use a block for this stamping since it is on a diagonal. I'm making sure it's lined up, and then I'm stamping that down right below that green pattern paper stripe. Now I've added some foam tape all over the back of this panel, and I will just pop this onto the card base, lining up the bottom, and you can see that makes it line up perfectly with my fence that I glued down earlier. Now I will start to add my cute little images. So I need to put this cute little bunny into his carrot car. So I will just add him with a little bit of liquid glue and layer him behind. I'm doing the same with the tulips in the little wagon that will be pulled behind the carrot car. And I just colored these in a rainbow of colors to match my striped paper. I have this little connector piece here, and I stamped that in a gray ink. And I'm just putting a dot of glue on each side so that I can connect my wagon to my car, and I'm using my grid mat to make sure it's nice and straight. Then I'm adding some foam squares all over the back, and I will pop this whole piece right onto that little green stripe like he is driving up the hill with his wagon full of tulips. Now for the banner that I stamped, I'm adding some thin foam squares so they're not quite as thick as the ones I use for my other images. And I will just tuck the end of the banner behind the little topper of the carrot car so that it looks like it is flying behind as he's driving up the hill. Now I have some of the little individual tulips that I've colored in the same colors as the ones in the wagon. I put one in his hand like he's holding it, and then the other ones I'm just scattering across the bottom almost like the tulips have flown out as he went up the hill. I am also adding 2 little tiny hearts cut from guava cardstock, and then I will add my glitter. So I'm adding glitter to the hearts and all of the tulips, and I will also add a little bit to the center, that darkest part of all of the wheels. I think it just makes them look like they're shiny. And here is my finished card with those fun spring colors from that pattern paper, and I love that unique diagonal line across the card. So on this card, I'm using both of the little carrots and the little bunnies, and I've already colored and cut them out. I think that purple carrot is really cute. Now I'm taking the largest of these scalloped rectangle frames, and I'm cutting one from white. I've also cut 2 of the bunting borders from some fog cardstock, and you can see that I've also cut out all the little flags from some fake tan cardstock because I am making some carrot banners, which I think is really fun. I loved this idea when I came up with it. So I'm adding some liquid glue to all of the banners here, and I'm adding all of these orange pieces that I die cut out. And I will actually have a few more carrots that I will end up cutting off, but I would rather have a longer banner and trim it down to fit my card than to cut it too short. So for each of these, I have 8 little banners on there, and I will do the same to the other one. And then to make them look more like carrots, I've pulled out a dark orange Copic marker, and I'm just adding some little detail lines to each of these. Just kind of here and there, making sure they're not all exactly the same. Pulling it from the left and the right and varying where I make those lines. And you can see here how much those look like carrots. Now to make the tops of the carrots, I have this little die. This is from the Flower Garden Backdrop die. But I thought that the top of this particular little plant looked like the top of a carrot, and it was the perfect size. So I have just cut a whole bunch of these from some algae colored cardstock, and I will just trim off the leaves that were die cut so that I have the little tuft that's at the top and a little stem sticking down. And once I have all of these trimmed down, I'm going to flip my little banner over, add a little dot of glue at the top of each of those little triangles, and then I'm going to take each of these little green pieces and put that little stem that's sticking down into the dot of glue, and this is going to create the green top and make these look like carrots. And I just think that they turned out so cute on this finished card. So I will do the same to the other banner, but you can see here when I flip it over, we're going to have some cute little carrots. Now to work on my card base, I have some blue spiffy speckles paper. This is going to be the sky for my little scene. And then I have a piece of green watercolor wishes, and this is going to be the ground where my carrot cars sit. So I'm just trimming these down to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I will cut the top of the green one with a simple stitch hillside border. And I'm cutting this in that darker piece of green so that I have more contrast. I can figure out how high up I want this hill, and I will just draw a line with my pencil and trim it down. Now this was a little bit crooked, and that's just because I cut my hill a little crooked. So I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of even that out by trimming that down. This is how all of these pieces are going to stack together, although they are not glued down just yet. I'm putting them in my MISTI so I can see where to stamp my sentiment that says, "I care about you." So I'm stamping it towards the bottom, close to the frame. And I will just stamp this in some black ink directly onto that pattern paper. I did end up trimming it down just slightly just to fit things into my scene a little better. But I'm putting that spiffy speckles paper directly onto a card base. Then I will add my hill at the bottom. And now I'm adding my little bunnies to my carrot cars. So we have the little gray bunny that's going to be in the big carrot car. And then I have my little cream colored bunny in my purple carrot car. And these are going to sit right here on that green hillside at the bottom. So you can see why I did trim it down a little bit so that I had enough room for my carrot banners and my carrot cars all within this frame. I did decide that I wanted my carrot banners to go on top of the frame, so I am not gluing those down just yet. I've put some thin foam strips around this whole frame, and I will pop this onto my card base so that my frame is popped up from my background, which is a really fun look. And then I will do the same thing with my little carrot cars and my carrot banners. It's a lot of carrots on this card. So I have some foam tape or some foam squares on the back of both of these, and I'm just going to put those in place like they're driving across that little hill. And now I can figure out where my banners need to go. And I like the look of them overlapping the outside edge of the frame. So I'm putting some foam squares behind each of the carrots that are in the center. And then for the 2 carrots that overlap the frame, I'm taking a little tiny piece of that thin strip of foam tape and I'm adding it to the side that is going to be off of the frame. And then I will also add a little dot of glue on each of those as well, and that is where it's going to touch the frame. So hopefully you can see that there, and then I will pop this into place. So those 2 carrots that are touching the frame, that's where that liquid glue is, and then that little bitty piece of foam tape is on the part of those carrots that are on the background. I'll do the same to this one. I already trimmed this one down because I knew I needed to lose 1 carrot on each side. So I'm putting that foam tape down just as I did on the other banner, and of course those little dots of glue. And then I will pick this up and place this right above my carrot cars. So I did feel like my grassy hill needed a little bit more, so I colored and die cut out the little tiny flower in this set and added that to the grass. I'm also pulling out some of these little extra hearts that I just keep in my drawer. These are cut from guava cardstock using the Hearts and Stars skinny tag die, and I'm just adding those around above my carrot cars as well. This is the perfect opportunity to add some glitter. I love glitter on the little hearts. I'm also adding glitter details to the carrot cars on the wheels and the little tuft of green at the back. And then I went through and added a little bit of glitter to each of the green tops of my carrot banner. And I am so excited about how this turned out. I just love those carrot banners, and those carrot cars are so cute.
Oh my goodness, Shari, I love this card so much. The carrot banner, I just can't. It is absolutely adorable, and I love the purple carrot too. And then this card is so much fun with its spring theme and all of those little flowers and pretty pattern papers. And oh my goodness, we have some incredible cards by the design team. And first up, we have this card by Callie. I love the giant happy spring and her beautiful colors. This is just so much fun. This card by Maureen is just gorgeous. I love how she added in the banner and how she has the cute little tulips in the cart. It's so much fun. Here's the card by Elena that I mentioned that combined the really cute veggie happy stamp set with the carrot about you, and I just love the carrot theme. And then this card here by Grace is so much fun. I love the I carrot thank you enough theme. It's so adorable, and it shows you how to use this stamp set outside of Easter. This set is also really, really cute for layouts, and I am in love with this layout by Melissa. I love how she added all these cute little stamped details. Oh my goodness, they are just so sweet and fun. And then this card here by Megan is just adorable. I love her cloud paper in the background and how she stamped the sentiment into the cloud too. How fun is that? And then this card here by Elise is so adorable. I love her hot foil clouds in the background and how she created a tulip garden in the front. Oh my goodness. This card by Tammy is the one that inspired us to make ours today, and I love it in the portrait style. Tammy also shows us how cute this set is on a tag with those fun new carrot treat boxes. I love it so much. I absolutely love that Audrey brought in the road border. It is so super cute with these carrot cars, and I love that she used that beautiful gradient paper in the background. And then this card by Lynette is so fun. I love the bright pop of purple and her happy spring sentiment and all of those little flowers in her little wagon. And then this card by Letitia is just adorable, and I love the Cared About You theme. It is absolutely stunning. So we cannot wait to see your Cared About You cards, so make sure to share them with us. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!